We have nobody thinks for themselves anymore. Featuring Joe Bart. All right, let's check it out.
Hello, humans. I personally feel like a lot of the internet's opinions come from short form media, and a lot of these people don't even do research, and whatever pops up on their For You page the most and has the most likes, that is automatically what's going on, whether you do your research or not. You don't even have to fact check anymore. You don't even have to have factual backup or anything. It's just if they see it a lot pop up on their For You page, they're gonna believe it. I'm telling you guys, if I made a TikTok and said that my butt cheeks could talk, and I just kept saying it and saying it and saying it, and I made it a trend, people are just going to start believing that their butt cheeks can talk.
I mean, he's saying it to the extreme again. Some people believe some really stupid shit online, bro. I can't disagree. So far, I can't disagree.
Like a month, couple weeks, few weeks ago, it was a trend to just randomly hate on 7 or 8 year old Myth clips. And if you don't know who Myth is, he was like a famous Fortnite player. A lot of his old clips started resurfacing. Everybody, I seen a lot of people in the comments wait, what's going on? Why are we hating on this dude? They don't even know why. I clicked the replies under those comments and they were like, it's a trend, so I mean, why not? Are you serious? Short form media has so much power over the human brain in modern society, man. I'm telling you, I could trick the internet into thinking that my butt cheeks could talk if I made it a trend. There was literally just old 7 or 8 year old Myth clips jumping around of him being corny or whatever. Okay, all right, I get that. You might think he's corny, but why wasn't you calling him corny back then? Why wasn't it a trend back then to call him corny? Another example of that was everybody believing that Kai Cenat was a clone.
I mean, look, I don't think social media influences a lot of people. I think social media influences a lot of idiots. And because of the Dunning-Kruger effect, an idiot thinks he knows more than the average person. So he's going to keep regurgitating what he thinks he knows and standing and talking about it all fucking day. If you spend your time in a short form content comment section and you don't really have comments, an actual insightful piece of speech that could contribute, then you're just slow. The thing is that these idiots and these people that comment a lot of this very often hateful and unnecessary sentences really affects, they don't realize at which point it affects the person on the other end. You understand what I'm saying?
I highly advise you guys not to just doom scroll short form media, because slowly but surely the wrinkles in your brain are just going to disappear and your brain's gonna look like a fucking marble.
Saya wanted me to make a rant today about the TikTok opinion, and the example he gave me was the current, or at least past now, hate that Myth was getting off of a trend making fun of him for being corny from 7 years ago. And it would show some of the comments that he would say while he was playing Fortnite in 2018, Jeej, or these other, corny things. Honestly, I say Jeej in video games now because I think it's funny because of it. But the TikTok opinion is really just bandwagoning. Someone saying something where a few people agree, and then when people see that those people agree in the comments, they agree in return, right? If you have a video with 100 likes,
yeah, bro, comment sections these days have become a lot more you're not gonna find any diversity whatsoever in the comment section. When you go into the comment section, you're gonna find either a totally valid point, not a totally valid point, but you're only gonna see people that agree with one side of the piece of content. That's how you know how the algorithm works, bro. That's low-key the algorithm nerfing itself. It's just exposing itself. It's really only really creating a digital profile on us and then just regurgitating similar traits. Not to say that's a bad thing. I think that's a really strong algorithm that works very well. But then after that, it just becomes groupthink. You understand? Which is great for the platform and great for advertisers because it makes it easier to know what demographic is on there. But as an experience for a user, not exactly the most reflective of reality, if you understand what I'm saying.
that has a hateful message towards somebody, or even the reverse. Maybe it's really nice. And the comments agree or disagree, and somebody with kind of an unformed opinion at that time opens the comments. Their opinion will be formed based off of the majority of the replies that they see.
What is that? Why are our opinion, not ours? Why are y'all's opinions based on the number of likes next to a comment? Why are we not forming our own opinions anymore in 2026? What the fuck are we heading toward?
We're not going anywhere. It's just that idiots are just gonna, devolve. In my opinion, idiots don't evolve, bro. Life evolves. If you're an idiot and that's how you live your life, you're not gonna evolve. But society as a whole is just gonna keep evolving. That's my opinion. We're not gonna stop for idiots, bro. I'm pretty sure there's been idiots throughout the whole course of history. That has never stopped progress. You don't understand? Idiots just get left behind, bro.
Are we doomed? And the thing is, they might disagree, but a lot of them either just don't say anything if they don't disagree, or they try to see past it and agree because everybody else is agreeing and they don't want to stand out. Sickening.
That's not for everybody, though. And I'm not dissing individual people. Everybody's guilty of doing what I'm about to say in one way or another. There are people that bandwagon for things that are popular, and there are people that bandwagon for things that are not. There are people that like being in niche communities, and there are people that like being in very popular communities. I've seen this with my own audience, right? When I was smaller, there used to be people that would shit on me because they thought I was corny. Then as I got larger, those people started liking my content, and the people that did like me while I was niche started not liking me because I was no longer niche. So you have this weird flip-flop that occurs. And then obviously in any individual situation, there's a large group of people that are just making their own opinion. I'm not sitting here acting like you're either one or the other.
I found out that anytime I have a genuine opinion, if I come across a piece of content and it actually makes me think and I form an opinion, by the time I have my opinion and I've given my thought about the piece of whatever I just witnessed, I'm not gonna type out that whole thought process I just went to explain to you what I don't got all day to be on this shit. I'm just scrolling. I'm not trying to put people onto a fucking thought process, bro. Ain't nobody trying to do that shit.
Every single person in their life has had a time where I guess an opinion has been said to you and you don't really have a formed response or belief yet. So you form that around what other people think, or the, I guess, not antithesis, the reverse of what they think, right? You don't want to agree with them regardless of whether or not you care about what they're saying. So you're just not going to agree with them because they're the one saying it. In the TikTok sense, I think for the example of myth and just hate in general, I don't think TikTok's becoming Twitter, but I think TikTok is just one of the more toxic platforms when you actually kind of dive deeper into drama or making fun of creators or just people in general, really, like lol cows and stuff like that. But anyways, there are a large amount of people, and I wouldn't say the majority of people. It's a loud minority of individuals that like voicing hate for things that they don't actually care about.
Rings a bell, doesn't it? If you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that I'll always talk about, I know people classify me as technically a commentary YouTuber because I'm literally, I'm commentating, I guess, but again, I consider myself a rant channel. But the people that I consider commentary channels are the ones that just put stupid fucking gameplay in the background and whatever's, of course, y'all heard me say this before, but for the people that haven't, they just talk about whatever's trending right now. They couldn't care less about it, and
that's like brain dead content. Like the Minecraft walking, reading a Reddit post. Oh my fucking god. It's just such weak effort content, bro.
Make sure their video's over 8 minutes so they can put food on their table and keep their lights on, right? They don't give a fuck what's going on. They don't care. They're not making content because they have the passion for it. They're making content because their car payments do.
There are people that have been clowning on myth that could not give two fucks about it if you distracted them with something in the next 5 minutes. The second they scroll, it's out of sight, out of mind. And that's more just a showing of the negative emotions that these people hold. I'm a negative person. I'm a very pessimistic person. But when it comes to social media and people that are not creators or forward facing individuals, more alt account, burner account people that kind of just hate for fun.
Hate for fun is the exact description. Some people be hating for fun. Yo, that is what it is, bro. Hate for fun. That's what these niggas do. Because when someone posts something like that is very vile, purposefully wicked, you can tell that these are the people people that desire that like this is like a weird liking that they got for bringing shit they would never see in real life to a place where they get to like spew that venom. Like it's weird, bro. It's weird.
You got to keep in mind, there are people that are genuine haters and they're just like really mean people overall. And a lot of these people that use these burners are mean people. But most of the time that you see mean comments, that person said that shit, scrolled, and within 30 seconds, it's out of their head. They're no longer thinking about it whatsoever. So,
you know, I love trolling people that, bro. Yo, one time, I got this one thread, bro, with this old nigga. Yo, but it's just so toxic. It's just so toxic. Like those, like I got this one thread with, bro, if you go, that's deep in my early YouTube days, bro. Like where it's like you these types of people, like people that like hate on comments for like a profession, and you could tell all they do is argue, and it's really, as you argue with them back, you find out how insecure they are. But this back and forth, you really realize that these niggas have time, bro. They have time. They go around asking their friends and family about their opinion on my comment, and then come and then tell me about my comment and what their friends. It'd be fucking bonkers, bro. It'd be fucking crazy. It'd be crazy.
in my own example, like there's a lot of people that don't like me. There's a lot of people that do like me. There's a lot of people that don't like me. And sometimes I think there's extremes on both ends. I'm not going to sit here and like defend every individual that's in the comments going, Joe Bart's a philosophical genius. He has a degree. I have a bachelor's in arts, buddy. Okay. I understand I have a philosophy channel. I'm not some genius guru when it comes to philosophy content. Now, on the other end, there are people that are like, I've always hated Joe Bart. I'm so glad we're on the Joe Bart hate train. Okay, way to make it about yourself, you fucking glazer. Secondarily, those same people will have equally outlandish opinions saying that I lied about getting my degree and I'm using this as a LARP to try and sway people away from God. You can literally see a video of me walking on stage, shaking the hand of the dean and getting my diploma. So you're on crack, you're an idiot. In the same sense, the people that are fucking with me and saying that, like, you're not bandwagoning, but it's to a degree that's like, whoa, next level glaze, right? So I get people going, the Joe Bart glaze could be cringe, but I'm also going to sit here and say, you're just a dorky ass hater that wants to be different. Right? You could say Joe Bart's not a philosopher. There are people that fuck with me and go, that part of my fan base is too much glaze, it's cringy. But you don't have to go, it's too much glaze, it's cringy. He doesn't have a degree. I'm gonna have this opinion. And then a bunch of drones start following whatever side they deem fit. Don't pick a side, right? Just be you.
Authenticity will always win at the end of the day. You won't have to worry about coming off as performative or anything. The same as content creation or being a streamer. You don't, if I always use this example when I'm on live, you do not have to try too hard every time you get on stream, man. Like, sure, you can cut your stream up into segments. That's probably like the best way to stream, but those segments don't have to be forced. They can be
bro, I ain't gonna lie, this tip is what's making streaming really easy for me right now. Like, I don't really have to try too hard, bro. I just be basic. Like, the segments help, which is why I made the streamer wheel right here. But when I used to stream before, I used to treat it like a timer, bro. I always felt like I had a timer, and the truth is that, like, most of the time I'm a really good person face to face, but when you're streaming, it's like you don't have an actual person there to like read a dynamic, which makes it a bit harder. But at some point now, I just treat y'all like a FaceTime. Nah, bro, I don't give a shit anymore, bro. I'm just chilling with y'all.
You don't gotta force anything within those segments, because I feel like if you continuously come off as performative and you're just forcing yourself to have all this extra fucking energy, like I've always said, you're not going to want to you're going to have to drag yourself to your setup whenever you want to stream, because it feels like a job now. And that's why all these content creators, yeah, you can classify it as a job. I personally feel like in my heart, a job is something that you got to drag yourself towards. I feel like content creation is a passion that pays me. I feel like other creators feel like that as well. But unfortunately, like I'm not even going to name any names, but a big creator had called me out because I called from my Streaming University video, and he was basically saying like, oh, that's what we do to make money. That's how we pay our bills, man. And I was talking about clip farmers and shit. And I'm just like, dude, you don't have to, if you just continuously do that, about time you want to be yourself. I've already said this a lot again, but your fan base will want to leave you because they like, who the fuck is this nigga? They used to the fake you. I already said that in the Stream University video, but apparently everybody sees content creation as a job now though. It is not a job to me. It's not, you, of course you can classify it as a job because it pays you, whatever. But I just feel like if you see it as a job, you're not gonna want to do it in the long run. I feel like if you see it as a passion, I feel like the main goal.
I feel like he's wrong though, gang. Everybody got a motherfucking job, bro, and everybody built different. I feel like he's wrong about this one, but like when it comes to like fulfillment, the thing is that not everybody wants fulfillment from their job. There's some niggas that just want to work, make their money, and then do what it takes. You understand what I'm saying? And those are hustlers. That's why so many black people have started making content now, because like, bro, they got the method, bro. Like once there's a hustle, bro, and black people get to work, that's, bro, some people will do this shit and sweat it out. They won't even try to get into the streaming, like the entertainment industry. They're gonna just go straight for whatever brings them the bread the fastest. And like the hardest hustler I want to give a shout out to, honestly, but the guy that will just do it just because, yeah, nigga, that's what we gotta do, get bread. For real, it's Talil, bro. I think Talil is the hardest hustler out here, bro. Niggas don't even know, bro. Niggas don't even know. Cause real shit, I think Talil hates this streaming shit, bro. Bro, I think Talil hates this streaming shit. But Talil got heart, bro. Energy. He will put any kind of work you need to put in order to make sure that the bread don't stack up. And long term, that could take a toll on a man, bro. I'm not gonna pretend. Long term, that could take a toll on a man. But like, you could tell, bro. Talil will do any, bro. Talil a hustler, bro. Talil a hustler. So I disagree with this perspective where it's like, oh, you have to enjoy your job. Like, just because it doesn't feel like a job to you doesn't mean that other people aren't willing to put themselves in a slightly more uncomfortable position to like make content and make some money for themselves.
But I feel like if you find your passion and you somehow,
yeah, that I just yapping, bro. I'm just yapping.
How are able to profit and live off of your passion, you won't work a day in your fucking life.
Not everything needs a response. Some things just require observation. And that's it. And that's really what most internet drama really boils down to be when you're sitting here talking about people hating on Myth, or just random drama with Asmongold or Hassan or a political creator, or even me and my philosophical content. You don't really have to interact all the time. And I tell myself that, and I still do, right? I don't see the majority of videos that people make about me. I don't see the majority of things people say about me. But sometimes I'll see a hate thing and I'll go, that just pissed me off. And then I reply. And then I go back 5 minutes later and I go, that was stupid, because now they're just going to make 95 videos about that, which there are creators that have.
Bro, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to tease them. You're supposed to tease them. You're supposed to tease the haters every single day. Yo, bro, if I was Joe Bart, bro, especially in a space like Philosophy Gang, I would rage bait the fuck out of all these channels, bro. And in my opinion, that shit will get views. More people get to eat. If more creators have more money, maybe we can increase the quality required for niggas to get paid, bro.
Just clout farm off the fuck out of it. Anyways, I'm getting a little off topic here, and I know I'm, yapping pretty quickly, but the TikTok opinion overall is just either agreeing with the majority or disagreeing with the majority, and that just creates two large groups, right? And then in the end, it's actually just not even really a 50-50. It's usually like a 70-30 or something, but there's still large groups on either end. It's just one trying to be niche or against the masses, and one that's agreeing with the masses. And in both scenarios, there's extremes of individuals and there's reasonable people on both sides, right? When there's people that have complaints about certain takes that I have, I'm not going to sit here and say none of them are valid, right? There have been times that I've contradicted myself. And in the same sense, there are people that glaze me to a degree that's like, they're acting like I'm Socrates. It's like, I do have surface level takes. I do have water takes, but it's like, I'm also an intro in that sense for people. So I don't know. The reason I'm using myself
as an example. I also noticed that a lot of the content that is online now is beginner level content. Like, we don't find layered content. There isn't that much layered content. Like, because a lot of times, a lot of people will learn the first layer of shit, but not really go and start diving deeper into whatever it is they're trying to figure out. So they just like learn the first two things and they're like, I bet, perfect, and then they head out. Which is why I think most of the beginner level content attracts like the masses, you get more numbers when you do beginner level shit. Like if you do surface level, beginner level shit, you attract like basically the general public. But once you start getting deeper into it, like once you start getting deeper into like levels of whatever the topic is, the more diehard the fan might be. So you could create a lot of different diehard fans if you want to, but if you want to make a lot of money, you gotta make a lot of like surface level shit. You understand?
Examples, because if you're seeing this and you know me, you'll probably understand it better than if I'm just yapping about a creator that you don't know. But yeah, it's not just Myth, it's not just me, it's legitimately every creator. You see it in Streamer University with so many of the fucking drama things that picked up from that, where people are being disrespectful to one another or this and that, and the professors, like Ludwig, it's the same shit. There's people that call him fence sitting and they say he doesn't ever have a valid opinion about anything, right? People say it about Moist Critical, which I think is crazy because I always used to think that Moist Critical is one of the most highly regarded creators on the platform. And I still think he is, but there is like a niche group of people that don't like him. And I sit there and I go, well, I understand certain takes he's had where he's not really, you know, saying like hard choosing an opinion, but it's like when you look at it at a broad scale, it's like there are going to be people that just disagree with the masses and agree with the masses. And it's not like every single individual in any situation is going to do that. I feel like I'm going in circles here. It's not every single person in any scenario where they have to choose. They either agree or disagree with the masses. There are people that just observe and come up with their own opinion. And obviously it's probably going to sway one way or the other, but there are dead ass people that just only believe what the masses believe, or vice versa. Like people that believe in conspiracy theories just because they want to go against like conformity or, you know, the government or whatever
they
it is.
basically don't think for themselves. There's a mass of people out there that basically don't think for themselves.
There's ones that are valid and there's ones that aren't. And I don't know. I think social media is kind of going down this rabbit hole of like pure idiocy where nobody really forms their own opinions on things unless you're like the first 5 people to see that piece of media. Because those like 10 people off rip are going to be the ones that like decide what the majority of individuals choose. And part of the problem is those 10 people that interact with things very quickly also tend to be the ones that are most chronically online and have some of the most outlandish opinions. So it's like, I don't want to say we're like fucked, but like, I don't know, man. I mean,
bro, who's weird? I want to figure out who's the perspective. What the perspective of the creator? The creator's not fucked. I'm not bothered, but like as a creator, I swear to God, like as a creator, I am not bothered a single bit by the idiots we have online. I think the problem here is that a lot of these guys have been making content for a long time, and the problem with that is you spend a lot of time in places like this. Like right now, I'm making content, I'm in my crib, I'm in my studio. Joe, every time he made a video, or most of the time he made a video, he was like in a place, safe space, quiet. He had the light, he could film, he could understand. Filming is a very private thing to do. Most of these guys are content creators, so most of their time have been spent in locations where they can film. They haven't like, I don't want to say they haven't been outside, but like they haven't been outside or interacted with a vast mass amount of people in person. Most of their interactions have been digital with the masses. The truth is, if you go outside, there are an equal amount of idiots. It doesn't make a difference. Like, these are humans. On the other side of the viewer is a human, bro. And so these idiots are not only online, but they're outside too. So it doesn't really make a difference. It kind of balances out. It kind of balances out, bro. I'm being so fucking dead ass. The idiots that are online, that are doing all the stupid, like, hating, and then those idiots are also doing the same stupid shit in the public life. Like, either they're doing it online or they're doing it outside, bro. I swear to God. So yeah, I think we're good, bro. If you're a creator, keep creating. There's nothing that could stop you. All you gotta do is focus and do your work. If anyone talking too much, you punch them in the face. And that's how it works. That's how it works. Get your work done and focus on yourself. That's my only advice.